Hello and welcome to Wisdom Trek. This is Guthrie Chamberlain and I'm your guide to wisdom and creating a living legacy. Thank you for joining us for our 7-day-a-week, 7 Minutes of Wisdom podcast. This is day 183 of our trek, and yesterday we explored the 25 nuggets or proverbs for abundant living. Today we're going to hike the should have, would have, could have trail, or it could be referred to as the tyranny of the should. If you miss any of our days of the Wisdom Trek episodes, please go to wisdomtrek.com to listen to them and to read our daily journal. We are recording our podcast from our studios at the Big House in Marietta, Ohio. On Sunday, we went to church with Dad, who lives about an hour north of the Big House, and we also took him out to lunch at the Cracker Barrel, which is his favorite place to eat. Our daughter Elizabeth and her 4 children came over for the evening to help us to consume some leftover Thanksgiving, and the grandkids helped Gramps get started on the renovations in the library. This will be a busy work week for us with client work and making plans for 2016. As we begin today, let me ask you a question. Have you ever had those times where you have felt or said, I should have made different choices or decisions? For example, your narrative may have gone like this. I should have made a different decision, then I would have been in a better place and I could have had so much more in life. The trek that we will hike on today is the should have, would have, could have trail, or as some may refer to it as the tyranny of the should trail. What is the tyranny of the should? How do we free ourselves from the destructive, insensate pressure to be perfect? Everyone lives with shoulds. One might say with Christianity and other faiths, it is the way of life built on shoulds, such as we should love one another. One should keep themselves from bad practices. One should give to charity. For many, their shoulds are experienced as positive and fulfilling. Meeting one's moral obligation is a great source of pleasure. When we do the right thing, we feel good about ourselves, and we feel that life has meaning and purpose. But there are others who don't experience the shoulds in a positive way. They feel pressured or strangled by them. For such people, their inner shoulds are sources of great emotional suffering. Dr. Horney named this experience the tyranny of the should. Here are some examples of shoulds that can become problematic. I should always feel happy. I should not dislike anyone. I should feel strong and in control. I should have perfect clarity. I should always be giving. I should not make mistakes. I should never get angry. I should never waste time. I should always feel productive. Shoulds can become tyrannical when they are experienced as making impossible demands that are impossible to meet, such as we should never feel weak as an impossible demand to meet. The tyranny of the should is experienced as a demand to be perfect and therefore feels like an order given by an oppressive dictator who ruthlessly demands perfection and nothing else. Shoulds are rigid, unyielding, and devoid of compassion for your limitations and weaknesses. You are never able to relax because the pressure of being perfect is unrelenting. When shoulds are reinforced by social pressure, they become even more unbearable. Under the burden of these dictates, your behavior may become pressured, forced, and may take on an oppressive quality. The hallmark of the experience if you are controlled by the tyranny of the should is that you feel driven, but you never feel like you are the driver of your life. There is a loss of personal agency, genuine creativity, and authenticity. And if this isn't enough, shoulds are usually experienced as punitive. Every should carries some implicit message. If you don't do it perfectly, you are a bad person. Thus, feeling like a failure, you inevitably fall prey to self-hate and shame. If you loathe yourself, you feel depressed, hopeless, and sapped of vitality. Thankfully, there is hope. Here are the 5 steps to destroy the tyranny of the should. The first step is to become more aware of your shoulds. Make a list. When you begin to become aware of them, you will discover just how many there are. Some are obvious, but others are quite subtle, so listen very carefully. The second step is to recognize that some shoulds are lies. For example, you might hear yourself say that I should feel happy all the time. Is this true or false? It is certainly a lie because it is not humanly possible to be happy all the time and never be in a bad mood. The third step is to identify the truth. In this example, the truth would be, it's okay to feel unhappy and to be in a bad mood from time to time. No one is happy all the time. Upon embracing this truth, you will feel a perceptible shift, a sense of liberation, a feeling of lightness. Now, how long you allow yourself to be stuck in a bad mood is the choice that you will need to make. When we do find ourselves unhappy or angry, we need to make a mind shift so we'll not remain in that state too long. Make this mind shift by doing something positive for others. Or as Galatians 6:10 put it, Therefore, whenever you have an opportunity, we should do good for everyone, especially those in the family of faith. The fourth step is to recognize that you are not a bad person. Just because you're not happy all the time doesn't mean that you're a bad person, that something is wrong with you, or that you have a psychological problem. To think so would be a falsehood. We all fall prey to these feelings. We can't help it because God built us with feelings. But this does not mean that we have to be controlled by these emotions. Work on recognizing your feelings so that when they do manifest themselves, that you are able to take action. And think of yourself in this way, from Psalms 139:14. Thank you for making me so wonderfully complex. Your workmanship is marvelous. How well I know it. And the fifth step is to accept yourself as a good person who is imperfect and limited. No longer needing to be perfect, you can begin to discover and embrace the truth about yourself. Living as an imperfect, limited, and messy human being requires letting go of this idealized self-image. Embracing reality is often painful. Becoming more grounded in your own true feelings and perception is a primary indication that you have begun to free yourself from the tyranny of the should. As the grip of this reign of terror loosens, you'll begin to feel more alive, becoming the driver of your life and no longer being driven. 1 Timothy 4:4 puts it this way: since everything God created is good, we should not reject any of it and receive it with thanks. So today on our trek we considered the should have, would have, could have trails, and we learned the 5 steps to overcome the tyranny of the should. Consider what type of mind shift and changes that you need to make in your life to live a rich and satisfying life that you are destined to. And as you have opportunity, please encourage your family and friends to join us and then come along with us tomorrow for another day of Wisdom Trek, creating a legacy, and we will hike the trail that will help us to build character. That will finish our podcast for today. Remember to listen to your daily dose of wisdom at wisdom-trek.com, or you can subscribe at iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher, or many of the other social media platforms. And please share Wisdom Trek with your family and friends through email, Facebook, Twitter, or in person as you meet with them, and invite them to come along with us each day. Now, if you'd like to be added to our weekly email updates and special publications from Wisdom Trek, just text the word wisdom to 44222 on your phone, and you'll receive a message asking for your email address. It's very quick and easy to do, and your emails from us will be very limited. The journal for today's trek can be found at wisdom-trek.com. Thank you so much for allowing me to be your guide, your mentor, but most importantly, I do consider you my friend as I serve you through the Wisdom Trek podcast and journal each day. As we take this trek together, let us always live abundantly, love unconditionally, listen intentionally, learn continuously, lend to others generously, lead with integrity, and leave a living legacy each day. This is Guthrie Chamberlain reminding you to keep moving forward, enjoy your journey, and then create a great day every day. See you tomorrow.